Venezuela is becoming known for a lack of just about everything. So on this episode of the Hot Zone, we're going to go shopping with some Venezuelans and see their reactions. It's really hilarious. Stay tuned.
This is the Hot Zone. Engaging with the news in a whole new way, international war correspondent Chuck Holton brings insight into areas of crisis and lets you help those affected.
I'm back down at the Venezuelan border, and we're talking to some of the officials here on the bridge, and they're telling us that things are changing rapidly down here, without a doubt. When I was here just a couple days ago, they weren't allowing anybody on this bridge almost, and now I'm seeing men and women and kids and stuff coming up here. What they were saying before is that only sick people, pregnant women, or women with children were being allowed to cross the bridge up here, but it looks like that's being waived a little bit, and part of the reason for that most likely is because over here behind me, if you look just back over my shoulder, you can see people crossing the river on foot. That's that shortcut we keep talking about. Right down behind me is where I was attacked a couple days ago by members of the criminal cartel, or the criminal gangs that are loyal to Maduro, called the colectivos. And they charge money for apparently everybody who's crossing down there, and if they like what you've got, they'll just take it. So it's a very, very dangerous endeavor to cross down there. And as a matter of fact, now that we're up here on the bridge and watching, if you just stand here and watch a little bit, you can see gang members kind of standing along the trail and watching everybody that's coming through. So it's not a good situation here. The other thing that's changed is that the bridge itself is now completely blocked by containers and the burned out hulks of the trucks that had the aid on them 2 weeks ago that the National Guard of Venezuela burned. They are blocking the bridge completely so that no trucks could come across, and it looks like they're kind of at a standoff because they've done this to all of the bridges now on this border. So nothing's going to change until something changes, if you know what I mean. Hi folks. Okay, so we are in the grocery store, and I met these fine ladies here. I met these fine ladies out on the street. They live on the street. They're Venezuelan, and they're just kind of stuck. So what I decided to do, I got this idea. We want to help them out, but when you just give somebody money or something, you're taking dignity away from them. So what's better is to help them help somebody else. So the family I met 2 nights ago that is out in the same area where they live, where they're living or staying on the street, that family with all the kids, these girls are going to help me buy a bunch of groceries for that family, and then we're going to take it out to them and we're going to give it to them. So these girls are going to get helped too, but we're going to have them help somebody else. What do you think? Good idea? All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. I told them just to go get what they think the people would need, and I'm just following with the camera. There were a lot of products they had never even seen before. Buena idea. Para los niños. Me gusta. Tiene proteína y todo. So let's have the girls introduce themselves.
Wendy.
Wendy?
Jessica.
Jessica.
Hola, me llamo Orimeli.
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 Ori.
Oris.
Ok, Ori. Está bien. Y ella tiene carrillo. Pues. So I'm asking Jessica to explain to me what this store looks like to her coming from Venezuela. So Jessica is just telling me that this would be the best grocery store in all of Venezuela. She said in Venezuela, all these shelves would be empty. There's nothing on the shelves. And they're just walking around the grocery store here, which they've not apparently been in, and they're just in shock. Not only because of how much of everything there is, but because of how cheap everything is. It's pretty cool. Explíqueme lo que estás viendo aquí.
Que allá en Venezuela no podemos escoger.
So she's saying there's no choices in Venezuela.
Este no me gusta, prefiero este.
Yeah, she said, you can't do that. You can't go, oh, I don't like this one, I want to take this one. She said, there's only one kind if there's anything.
De que puedo comprar esta compota, pero no, prefiero esta.
You can't do that. So they're just in shock over that. Pero los precios? So then I asked them about the prices, and they said, oh man, the prices are so much more expensive in Venezuela. And I said, wait, in Venezuela? And they said, yeah, they're cheaper here. So she's telling me that in Venezuela, one toothbrush would cost that much money. That is as much as,
Ahora aquí son 5.
yeah, as 5 of them here.
5.
Yeah.
5.
5?
5, por esto no sé
Very
hablar.
good. Yes, very good. So then Oris was looking kind of funny and sad, and I said, what's wrong? And she said, oh, I'm just suffering here. She said, I'm suffering because I love chocolate, and there's just too much. So she's so frustrated because there's so many choices, and she's like, I love chocolate, and you don't understand how much I'm suffering here because there's so much chocolate to choose from. You can tell they're having a good time. They're taking pictures with diapers. ¿Y por qué quieres un foto? So then I asked him why they were taking pictures with the diapers, and she said because she has 4 nieces back in Venezuela that would just love to be able to wear diapers like these. Oh, okay.
Que todavía usa pañal.
So they would be amazed at all the diapers. So we ended up buying about $75 worth of food, and then we went to check out. And then I almost got run over by a taxi filming them coming out of the store. After that, we went out and got some pizza because we were hungry. And I was telling him about my buddy Mark Tomlett, who's 14 years old, but looks like Justin Bieber. And when they saw a picture, they were in love.
Hola, Marky.
It seems like every Latin American country has these crazy party buses that go by in downtown. So then the fun part came, driving the food down and dropping it off with that family with the 9 kids. And the kids loved the yogurt. Oh, tiene que abrirlo. Ay, no puedo. Muy bien. It's kind of hard to figure out where to stop because, I mean, you're obviously going to run out of resources before you run out of need in any situation like this. But I've always thought, well, you just kind of help the ones that God puts in front of you and leave the rest up to Him. The problem is, there's a lot of them getting put in front of us here. So we've been helping these 3 girls, and they had a great time going shopping and buying food for this other family with the 9 children, and then delivering it to them tonight. They had a great time with that. But then when we decided we were going to kind of reward them by giving them a nice place to sleep tonight, just, maybe not fix their problem, but give them a chance to kind of rest, clean up, wash things, that sort of thing. Find them a place, because when you're sleeping on the ground for a month, obviously things get pretty dirty. And so, but in the process of going to pick up their stuff, they introduced us to another one of their friends who's a 17-year-old girl that has a 5-month-old baby. And they're sleeping out there on the dirt. So we're going to go get her and add her to the list as well. And I don't have any more room in my car, so I guess that's going to be it for tonight. There's a girl over here. We just went to pick up some of these the Wendy's stuff, and there's a girl over here that's 17 years old, and she's got a 5-month-old baby, and she's out here sleeping in the dirt. And so we're going to do something to try to help that. We're going to try to do something to maybe not fix the problem, but at least give her a break. All right, so let me tell you the rest of the story. Wanted to give those girls a good time. We took them to the Hampton Inn, 12-story hotel right in the middle of Cucuta. Several of them had never been in a hotel before, ever in their lives. And so they had an absolutely great time. They just loved it. And they had a big breakfast the next morning, got to shower, got to bathe, got to clean their clothes and wash their hair and everything like that. That little baby was so incredibly sweet. And so I had a great time holding the baby. It was a real treat for me too. After that, I told them, look, I don't just want to give you a little bit of money or give you a little bit of food, that'll tide you over for a day or two. I want to figure out a way to take you guys to the next place, to the next level in your lives, the next place you want to go, the next thing you want to do, whatever, that you think will get you out of this situation, maybe for good. And so Wendy said, well, I'd really like to go home to my family in Venezuela. And so I had her get on the computer at the hotel and figure out how much that would cost. She did that. It was going to be about $40 total for the bus fare, some money for food, things like that. So we took care of that with money that you guys have already sent. The other two girls, Oris and Jessica, said they would really like to go to another city called Pereira or something I can't really pronounce in Colombia, and because they have family there that can take care of them, that they can live with while they get kind of their feet under them. So we had them check into what that would cost, and it was about $80 a piece. I'm already getting offers from those of you, after you saw my post putting that up on my Facebook page about that need. I'm getting offers from people to pay for that. So we're going to take care of those girls one way or another and get them out of living on the street. And then Maria, the little mother, she's 17 years old, and her little sweet little baby, they actually wanted to stay where they were because she actually has the baby's father is with them. He's a little bit older than she is. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's a whole lot older than 17, I'll tell you that. And he actually works carrying cargo back and forth across the border into Venezuela. It's a very physically demanding job, and it doesn't pay a lot, but between what he makes and what she can make selling coffee or water or whatever, they can actually survive there. But I want to figure out a way to get them off the street. Now, for about $1 a night per person, so that'd be $60 a month. No, might be only $30 a month, but anyway, between $30 and $60 a month, we could actually get them a place to sleep indoors, and obviously that'd be a whole lot better for that little baby. But it's hard to take on those kinds of commitments because I'm going to be gone, and how would I send them money every month? We can't really do that. So I'm thinking maybe there's a way that we could help them get started in a little bit better business. We could hook them up with the local church here, and then, let them better their lives by just improving the amount of money they can make, the amount of things they can sell or whatever, and hopefully get them started on the road to success. It's such a good feeling to do this. It was a very interesting experiment to take these girls, and rather than just say, we're going to help you, we first said, we want to have you help someone else. And they absolutely loved that. The first thing they said after they got back in the car when we gave that aid away to that family with 9 children was, oh, that was great. Can we do this some more? Can we help you some more with this? Can we help you hand out more aid? Because they started to see the joy of giving. And we had some very interesting conversations about their sense of self-worth. They were telling me how so many people had suggested that they work as prostitutes because they can make more money, and they were dead set against that. And you could tell that they had been raised to have a sense of self-worth, to have a sense of value in themselves. And actually, Jessica has two little children, two little toddlers, back in Venezuela with her parents. The man who fathered those children left her and is no longer in her life. And so she's a little more jaded. She's a little more understanding of the way the world works and does not want to get back into a relationship anytime soon. She wants to make a way for her family. And you can imagine how hard it is for her. She was in tears several times talking with me about having to leave her two little babies back in Venezuela. And she calls them every day, talks to them every day, actually probably spends more money than she should on data and stuff for her phone. But that is obviously very, very important to her. And of course it should be. But these are the kinds of things that you are helping to fix little by little. It's so daunting because we just can't help everybody, but it does feel very good when we can actually help somebody so much and really get to know them, form a relationship with them that'll be ongoing, because we've made contact with them on Facebook and WhatsApp, and they're going to be keeping in touch with me, and we're going to be finding out how things turn out for them. There was one more special thing I wanted to do for them before we put them on the bus and sent them off on their long journeys. And so here's what that looked like. So as these girls have been helping me out, they've been very embarrassed because of their shoes. They say that they feel discriminated against because of their shoes. So we're going to get them some new shoes. And here they are with their new things. ¿Cómo sientes?
Bien. Agradecida.
Oh, muy bien. Okay.
Feliz.
Okay. Gracias. Y ese es el papá.
Sí.
Mami.
Mira, mamá, mucho madre. Chiquita. Hola. Hola, princesa.
The Hot Zone is produced by Amy Holton and Livefire Media. Copyright 2019.